Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz joins me now. Pretty unbelievable, some of these things that he got people to say. What was it like when you were in there with him, and how did you figure it out?
Well, Martha, as politicians, we should take the work we do very seriously, but we should not always take ourselves so seriously. I think it's hilarious that Sacha Baron Cohen duped me into an interview and got some of my colleagues to say some bizarre things, but he came into our office and really it was quite deceptive. They set up entire websites dedicated to this documentary that they were doing about policies in Israel and how those affected the United States, and so it appeared very normal until the questioning went a little awry, and it just something didn't really seem right to me, and so I was trying to not say anything all that newsworthy.
I mean, he looks like he has a mask that he could peel off. You know, didn't that occur to you?
Well, he would not be the only dude who runs around Washington with a great deal of makeup on, Martha. That happens in this town a little bit more than it does in regular America, and so it didn't surprise me just to see someone conducting an interview with makeup.
Let's watch this from former Illinois Congressman Joe Walsh.
And so I'm reading this, Michael, off of a teleprompter, and I'm thinking to myself, well, this is kind of crazy. The alarm went off, but the alarm really went off about 3 o'clock that next morning when I said, oh, my God, I've been duped.
Well, why were they reading stuff off of teleprompters in the first place? I mean, it seems a little odd for a congressman to, be put in that position and just sort of agree to say these ridiculous things about arming 3- and 4-year-olds and agree to say that into a camera on a teleprompter?
I agree. They asked me to read off of a teleprompter as well, and I told them that's not something I do. I just try to share my sincere reaction to their questions without going with their script. And again, that's probably why it didn't work with me. But yeah, I mean, members of Congress should think about the things they say. We shouldn't just regurgitate the words in front of us. And again, this was sort of a funny example of that going wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's funny. It's a little disturbing, to be honest. To watch members of Congress being willing to say these things, and I think that's what Sacha Baron Cohen is trying to accomplish. He's trying to, in a way, make fun of you guys and basically suggest that you're willing to say or do just about anything if you think there's maybe a good political reason behind it.
Or if there's a camera pointed at us, maybe there are far too many members of Congress willing to read any teleprompter words if it means the camera light's on. But yeah, either way, that's humor. It's ironic humor that's indicative of Sacha Baron Cohen's style. Though I think that sometimes he goes far over the line. He has created some funny moments on television, and I got a good laugh out of it.
Yeah, he has created some funny moments. I would agree with you there. Sarah Palin is definitely not laughing about what he did to her, impersonating a wounded veteran. I want to switch gears for a moment because I know that you had Lisa Page on the Hill today. She is the former lover of Peter Strzok, who everybody has heard so much about, and we sort of watched her walk through the hallways, and she went in to answer some questions. What can you share about that?
There was one text message that speaks to it was contemporaneous with the time Comey was fired, and there's a message about needing to open up a certain case while Andy McCabe is the acting director. In previous behind closed doors interviews, Mr. Rosenstein has indicated to members of Congress that did not involve Russia. Peter Strzok did not answer that question, and Lisa Page, I believe, answered it in a way that is inconsistent with Rod Rosenstein's prior statements behind closed doors. And if, in fact, they were trying to open up a Russia case because someone was the acting director that wouldn't have been opened otherwise, that shows the bias not just in people's hearts, but in their actions as they were conducting the investigation. That's what we're trying to prove, that bias resulted in a change of the investigative activities, which has been detrimental to the president and to the country.
Is there any indication that she will undermine Peter Strzok?
Well, if she's answering questions that Strzok won't answer, then it certainly gives us more of an illumination of the facts. And I found Lisa Page far more forthcoming and honest than I found Peter Strzok.
Interesting. Very interesting. Congressman Gaetz, thank you very much. I promise this is a real interview. Good to see you tonight. Thank you, sir.